Congress, pursuing justice through participatory democracy. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for an exclusive forum featuring the candidates for LA County District Attorney. Join KBLA's Tavis Smiley as he helps navigate what promises to be a forum full of fire when the candidates trying to unseat current LADA George Gascon come together on stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hello, I'm Dr. Crystal. April is Couples Appreciation Month. So this month's video series will focus on ways in which our mental health can impact our relationships. Feeling unappreciated can affect not only your emotions, but also how you think and act, which may impact your mental health. If others appear to ignore what you do for them, it can feel terrible. It might make you question if the things you do for others are worth your time and effort, which may eventually lead to you isolating yourself from them. Your feelings can have a profound effect on the choices you make and the way you behave. So here are 3 things you can do if you're feeling unappreciated in your relationships. Number 1, communicate. When you feel that no one cares about who you are or what you've done for them, you can often solve the problem completely by communicating your feelings to them. Without accusing them of anything, express your emotions clearly. Talk about the times when you have felt unappreciated. Number 2, show appreciation. If you want to be appreciated, make sure you're showing your own appreciation in the relationship. Even if you have to search hard for something to appreciate in someone, your expressions of gratitude and respect can go a long way. Number 3, realize appreciation is shown in different ways. Too often we feel unappreciated because someone doesn't say the words. The person you've done things for may not be as verbal as you are. They may show their appreciation in other ways, perhaps with a physical gesture or by giving you a small gift. You may still need to hear those words occasionally, however. If so, get back to basic communication, telling them what you need and how they can supply it if they choose. If you or your significant other are not connecting like you used to, are you willing to accept the challenge to communicate with each other to determine if one or both of you may feel unappreciated? If you feel ready to accept the challenge, but would like to start by journaling your
Man, the VOR up in here. Hey, I'm really trying to drill down on this thing. Being appreciative for what you didn't get. Being appreciative for disappoint, right? When you're disappointed by life, when you're dissatisfied. How do you find appreciation in that? Most of us are just trying to move away from the negative moment or the negative feeling. Many of us don't know how to just sit in it and say, this too is a part of life. This too is a part of the journey. And in this feeling, this situation, I might be uncomfortable, but there is something here to teach me. And if there's something here for me to glean, for me to learn from, then it must be valuable. And if it is valuable, I should appreciate it, because that is what the etymology of the word appreciation means. It means to accrue in value. And if God is in control of everything, you can't say God is not in control of everything if you say God is infinite. then, most people will jump in and say, well, what about free will? If anything exists outside of the purview of God's power, that logically limits God. If you say God is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-seeing, the creator of everything, omnipotent, all-knowing, all everything. If God is all everything, i.e. infinite, then how can there be a special little space that exists outside of that called free will? They say, well, if it's God, God can do it. Okay, logically, let's make it make sense. That's like asking the question, can God create a rock so heavy that he couldn't lift it? It's a conundrum, right? Can God create a rock so heavy that even he can't lift it? Wait a minute. If you say God can, and he's unable to lift a rock, that's a limitation on God. If you say God can't create the rock, there's another limitation on God. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, we got free will. God is in control of that too. Remember that the divine order is intelligent and fundamentally good. Life is not a series of random, meaningless episodes, but an ordered, elegant whole that follows ultimately comprehensible laws. This is Epictetus who wrote this. Very powerful thing here. Again, so many people think it just happens randomly. I'm sorry. Here we go. Reggie from Austin, Texas, get in here.
Man, it's a lot to think about.
Yeah, come on,
yeah,
Reggie.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we have to give ourselves time to appreciate. When you talked about, property appreciating in value, it appreciates over time. And you have to give yourself some time. Well, giving yourself time is really equal to giving yourself some grace. All right. You may not appreciate 100 things about your partner every day. Try appreciating one thing and let that one thing grow into a few things. And I mean, as far as consciousness, that's being aware or woke to all the things that are around you. Bro, it's billions of things that are going on at the same time. And you have to give yourself some freedom to see at least a few of them. I don't think God wants us to be absolutely, totally perfect. But being perfected and being perfect are two different things. You know what I'm saying? Perfected is like, yes. I'm aware of who I am. Even though I haven't achieved all of it, at least I'm aware of who I can be, and giving you something to work towards. Like, you don't have it all together, and you don't have to have it all together. All you have to be is just aware of the possibility to get it together, and that's your relationship. You can get that together, possibly, or giving yourself some freedom to be the best person you know how to be. I mean, that's just fair to you, and I think it's totally unfair to say that you have to be perfect or that you have to look at all the wonderful things about your partner every day and acknowledge everything every day. Like, you really don't have to do that. I think you just have to be appreciative, and that's just the most simple way of being. You know what I'm saying? We make it so difficult, man. And I think nobody wants to go through the terrible times. Like, who wants to go through terrible times and say, "Oh, that made me a better person"? We are people that look for relative ease, and the only way sometimes you can look back at your life and say it was great is after the thing is done. Give yourself some time to look back.
But again, isn't that part of the problem? Isn't looking back part of the problem?
Your humanity is part of the problem?
Yes. I think,
nah, bro.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I think there has to be a leveling up. We level up in technology. We have to level up in spirituality. It can't always be, "Woo, I went through that. Let me pick up the pieces and let me grab the little lessons by looking back." Sometimes you have to do something revolutionary, spiritually trailblazing, in order to set a tone in your moment, in your life, in the moment. And I think that's the leveling up. I think what you're talking about is an old paradigm. Let me give you an example. The example you used was the Psalms. David had to go through it in order to write the Psalms. Agreed. But guess what? He looked back, he reflected. Great. But what if we take from his lesson and we elevate to a level of consciousness to where we understand, watch this, there is value in the hardship. There are gifts in the hardship. There's spiritual maturity in the hardship. I believe, I posit this and I'll throw it back to you. I believe for many of us, we have remained spiritual children because of what you described before I began talking. And that is, most of us avoid that which is difficult, that which hurts, that which is uncomfortable. But that is an intrinsic part of who we are. Life on earth, life on this plane of dimension, you're going to have to go through something. So why not look forward to going through it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. I hear you. And the person I am today, I can go through more things now and think like that on the front end. Mm-hmm. But I only did that because I built up a resistance over time.
Right.
I absolutely hear what you're saying. I can do that. Now, if the person that's dearest to me was tragically murdered in front of me, it would take some time for me to get to that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And like the worst thing that you ever experience in your life, it would take some time to get to that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I definitely see what you're saying, and I guess that's the dance that we dance in faith. Right. You get better as time goes on.
Right. But the theoretical physicists, the spiritualists, the shaman, the guru, they all say time is an illusion.
Yeah, it can be.
And the only time the only time that has ever existed is now. This is why so many of us live for so long in pain.
If the only time that exists is now, then why don't we do the best we can now to struggle with it now?
That's what I just said, man.
But hold on, yo. But hold on. But if we aren't the best we can be today, then we shouldn't down ourselves for all of eternity. Be the best you can be today.
But I'm not saying down yourself. I don't know where you're getting that piece from. I'm not saying beat yourself up about it. I'm saying that is the quantum leap we need to take. There has to be a spiritual quantum leap. I never said beat yourself up about it, Reggie. I never said that. But the spiritual quantum leap that is needed. Can you watch what I'm about to tell you? Can you imagine having that spiritual quantum leap to where you can accept any hardship in the moment without judgment, bro?
Right.
Can you imagine doing away with reflection? Do you hear me?
Yeah. The most important part of what you said is without judgment. I get that.
No.
I get that.
No.
For me, that's it.
The death of reflection. That's what, listen, that's what David had to do, right? He reflected and he said, here's the Psalms. Imagine if he could have created the Psalms in the moment.
Yeah, I hear you.
Quantum leap, man. We got to leap spiritually. We cannot, listen, how old are the Psalms?
I mean, yeah, thousands of years old.
Thousands of years old. We are still acting in an old paradigm. We have to, spiritually, man, there is no time. There is no time spiritually, brother. We have to find a way to quantum leap. I'm telling you, our relationships will benefit from it. Brother, you know you pull the best out of me, man. I love Reggie, man. Reggie from Austin, Texas. Reggie, guess what you just did, brother?
I tried to bring Austin in the building.
You didn't try, man. You did it, man. You want to bring your city in the building? All you got to do is call us. 1-800-920-1580. We on fire tonight.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I fly with the stars in the skies. I am no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire, it's my empire. And yes, I call the shots, I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water upon the vampire. In this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with the sling. This very moment, I put it on everything. That I will retire with the ring, and I will retire with the crown. Yes, no, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, clap for the heavyweight champ, me. But I couldn't do it all alone. We, Young Money raised me, grew up out in Paisley, Southside Jamaica, Queens, and it's crazy, cause I'm still hood, Hollywood couldn't change me. Shout out to my haters, sorry that you couldn't faze me. Ain't being cocky, we just vindicated. Best believe that when we done, this moment will be syndicated. I don't know, this night just remind me of everything they deprived me of. Put your drinks up. It's a celebration every time we link up. We done did everything they could think of. Greatness is what we on the brink of. I wish that I could have this moment for life. For life. For life. 'Cause in this moment I just feel so alive. Right now. Alive.
Are you the type of person who feels you give too much in your relationships? Doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. It could be with friends, family. You feel that you're a giver, and ultimately that gets taken advantage of. And maybe in the process, your needs don't get met. You give so much, and then you somehow forget yourself in the process, and you can end up feeling extremely resentful. It comes out in passive-aggressive ways, or maybe one day you even explode, right? And then the person in front of you says, whoa, like, who is this? I don't know this person. Because we haven't been giving them a true impression of what our needs are along the way. So now they don't recognize us. Now, why do we do this? Whenever I talk to women about this, there's often the logic that, well, it's because I'm a giver. It's because I'm a nurturer by nature. So I like doing those things for people. I like showing up for people. It's just who I am. I'm a very loving person. I don't want to cause pain to those people. I love those people. And anyway, I can handle it. You know, I'm a giving person, and yes, sometimes they do things that upset me, but I can live with it. It's okay. But of course they can't, because it's like this slow drip torture where eventually you suffer so much in your resentment that that's when that extreme reaction comes about. Here's what's interesting.
So resentment, it's an accumulation of time and you not getting what you want. So as he's articulating here, you're not really a giver if you want something back, right? So you're giving because you want to receive what you're giving. I keep telling you guys, reciprocity is really spiritual. And if it's not spiritual, it becomes transactional. Therefore, it is a loan. I am loaning you my nurturing. I am loaning you my empathy. This is the society in which we live. If you are actually a giver, you don't really want anything back because that is your nature. If we look at a lion is a lion. You put some type of ibex or some type of gazelle in front of a lion gonna be lioning. That's it. A lion is not gonna be humaning. A lion is gonna be like, hey, do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a giver. Then give. I'm a nurturer. Then nurture. Not, I'm doing this because I want it back. That's your wound talking. So again, I don't get it back. Over time, resentment accrues. Time. This is me talking to Reggie. I'm saying, Reggie. Yes, the great David, Dawood, the prophet, wrote the Psalms based on reflection. Can you imagine if we were to take a spiritual quantum leap to where we no longer needed to reflect on what hurt us? Can you imagine gaining an insight, much like Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, outlines? In Malcolm Gladwell's book, he says we have the ability to perceive the truth or falsehood in a thing instantly, in that moment. That's a quantum leap in consciousness. We live in a technologically advanced society, yet a spiritually impoverished one. There's a book you should read that the great Krishnamurti and the great physicist who was considered Einstein's heir apparent, David Bohm. David Bohm wrote a book called Wholeness and the Implicate Order, where he explained the holographic universe before the holographic universe was a thing. He and the great Krishnamurti sat down and had a very weighty conversation. The name of the book is called The Ending of Time. Do you see? Resentment over time. Disappointment, dissatisfaction over time. Unhealed wounds over time. It prevents us from truly appreciating. We can't appreciate the growth in our partner if they've changed, if they've evolved right in front of us, because all we can see is what happened in the past. We talked about Babette Rothschild's book, talking about trauma and how it transports us back to that time. Listen to this quote from this book, The Ending of Time. J. Krishnamurti sits down with David Bohm. There is an insistence that mankind can change fundamentally. But this requires going from one's narrow and particular interests towards the general, and ultimately moving deeper into that purity of compassion, love, and intelligence that originates beyond thought, time, or even emptiness. They went so deep into this. And the reason why he was able to sit down with a theoretical physicist, because David Bohm is used to using fourth dimensional mathematics. This is a type of mathematics that explains our reality that can't be brought into words. The depth of it. You think you're appreciating somebody when you're getting what you want. Can you appreciate them when they give you something, give you a gift that hurts? Huh? Can you appreciate your partner in the moment when they give you a gift that hurts? When they give you a gift that you disapprove of? If you were focused on the lesson, if you were focused on your internal work and how what hasn't been done called in this person, this opportunity to be, listen, the opportunity to be hurt. Ooh, yes, it's an opportunity to grow up. Rumi, the wound is where the light enters. Light is consciousness. Buddha, it means enlightened one. Christ, the morning star. Do you understand? The light has to find the wound in order to elevate your consciousness. But nobody wants to be wounded. Huh? Growing up spiritually hurts as good as sex. Somebody meme it. I'm sorry. Let's get these callers up in here. We can't get them right now. We got to move forward. But let me just say, we got our people in the building. I'm in here going crazy right now. We got South Central Los Angeles in the building. We got Dallas, Texas in the building. And we got the SIP in the building. When I come forward, I'm taking all these callers.
This is my moment, I just feel so alive.
What I tell them, ho, bow, bow, bow to me, drop down to your knees. Young Money, the mafia, that's where the love sees. I'm in the Dominican, Big Papi Ortiz, doing target practice, all these groupies just aiming to please. Shout out to the CEO, 500 degrees. Shout out to the OVO, Red Wings and Fatigues. So they wanna be friends, how coincidental. This supposed to be our year, we ain't get the memo. A young king, pay me a gold. 40 got a bunch of weed, he ain't even roll. These niggas be dropping songs, they ain't even cold.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is talking about his administration's gun violence prevention strategies for the new year. Speaking at a public safety press conference, Scott, who is black, said they want to continue to target illegal guns by going after straw purchasers, gun traffickers, and those who sell guns that they know will end up on the streets of Baltimore. Homicides decreased in Baltimore by more than 20% last year, and non-fatal shootings were down by more than 6%. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is announcing a statewide broadcast event to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in conjunction with the January 15th holiday. The annual commemoration of Dr. King's life and legacy, known as New York State Celebrates Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., will air on PBS stations throughout New York statewide beginning MLK weekend. The one-hour tribute showcases people and organizations from across the state that embody the principles of one of America's most significant leaders for social justice, freedom, and equality. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Happy holidays from the LA County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. The LA County Rent Relief Program assists landlords with unpaid rent expenses in LA County, not including the city of LA. Landlords could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. To learn more or to apply, visit lacountyrelief.com.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions because we've got your black. Listen up. If you're one of the more than 100,000 California tenants who were rejected or delayed when applying for COVID rental assistance, you've got a second chance. Under the terms of a new settlement, California's Housing and Community Development Department agreed to audit its past denials. The program ended in March 2022, but the advocacy groups Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, Policy Link, and Strategic Actions for a Just Economy sued the department. According to the coalition's analysis of state data, the department rejected nearly 30% of all applicants. Under the settlement, the department agreed to clear all renters in the pipeline within 6 months. The settlement applies to anyone who sought assistance from the state's Housing is Key program before April 1st, 2022, whose applications is pending or was denied after June 6, 2022. Tenants who have questions about the status of their application can call the hotline at 833-430-2122. That's 833-430-2122. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy holidays from the LA County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. The LA County Rent Relief Program assists landlords with unpaid rent expenses in LA County, not including the city of LA. Landlords could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. To learn more or to apply, visit lacountyrelief.com.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. So
got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice to breeze
Ladies!
So this primarily goes most for, well, it can really apply to different attachment styles in different ways. Like anxious will feel this way because they're often denying themselves of their needs, not speaking about what they want in case they get abandoned. Fearful avoidants are often overgiving and under receiving because they feel like they're not worthy or not deserving, or they're afraid of feeling like a burden or weak for relying on other people. Dismissive avoidants are absolutely afraid of feeling weak for relying on other people, and they often will feel criticized because they're not using their like words to explain where they're coming from, what's going on. They'll try a little bit, but they feel defeated, using like emotional literacy quite quickly, and they don't have a lot of good modeling there. So when they feel criticized, they tend to really feel undervalued and withdraw. So it can really apply to different people, different attachment styles in different ways. But I want to just share like these underlying reasons and how you can start changing some of these things. So number one, you may be in a position where you are feeling like, okay, I am not getting a need met. And then you give meaning to that need not being met. So you go, okay, I am not getting this need met, and it's because the person doesn't care about me. It's because if they cared about me more or they valued me more, they would make an effort to meet the need. When usually, if you see the needs through, or if you express the needs more clearly, the needs would be met. And it's usually going in that direction. If you want to do a deep dive with scripts, with really specific examples in depth, the advanced needs course inside the personal development school takes you through that step-by-step in detail, from identifying to expressing to seeing your needs through to receiving, all those different things. Number two, then you get into that storytelling part. So you say it's, I'm not cared about, I'm undervalued. It's because they think something's wrong with me, would be the dismissive avoidant version. It's because they think I'm, not cared for, not important to them, would be the FA version. It's because they are going to abandon me. And I'm not valued, and they're going to leave, would be the anxious preoccupied version. All the meaning we give to things is always based on our unresolved past traumas and emotional history. And yes, relationships and people in our life can exacerbate those things, but out of all of the thousands upon thousands of pieces of meaning you could give to a situation, we give those wounds that are really close to home for us because they're a part of our internal programming at a subconscious level being activated. If you want to reprogram those wounds literally for good.
Are you listening? This is why you can't show appreciation. You can't show it. You can't give it. It's transactional. Because typically everything is coming through this childhood wound, whatever the wound may be. John Bowlby's attachment styles, that's what she's breaking down. Attachment wounds. You can't really be appreciative or give it. Appreciation is a down payment for something. Joe Dispenza says it this way: your thoughts are incredibly powerful. Choose yours wisely. To be happy with yourself in the present moment while maintaining a dream of your future is a grand recipe for manifestation. Now, there's three aspects of time: past, present, future. Two of them don't exist. The past no longer exists. The future hasn't come into being. You spend your entire life in the now. Eckhart Tolle talked about it in his book, The Power of Now. Do you see what I'm saying? The spiritual quantum leap that is necessary we have to be able to usher in the death of reflection. And modern psychology is just getting to mindfulness. Your iPhone is more advanced than your spirit right now. I'm sorry. You haven't cultivated the ability to understand that you're supposed to go through hell in order to be purified by the fire. Ooh. Oh, God. Joe Dispenza says it another way. You can't think greater than you feel. Our feelings have become the means of thinking. By the very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past. I know y'all not ready for this. Are y'all listening to this? I really want you guys to hear me, man. Like, we need a spiritual quantum leap. We need one. We can no longer say, well, you know, I went through that and, you know, I was able to look back and see some things. And, you know, that's the old way. We've been doing it for millennia. Imagine if you could have a moment to be able to appreciate something, a flower, a sunset, without the desire to want to come back and see it again. Imagine if you could appreciate a loved one, a smile, a gesture, right? Without saying, this is mine. It belongs to me. Imagine if you were able to appreciate without the filter of everything you've been through. You know what? Everything I've been through made me what I am, you know? You know, it makes this moment even more precious. Are y'all? We don't know how to appreciate. Appreciation is a payoff, not an experience. Uh-oh. Right? We think it's a reward. It's something we're owed. To be appreciated and to appreciate. It's something we're owed. You know how much I've done for you. You see how, do you see? Oh, 1-800-920-15. We got so many callers on the line. I got to get them in here. I'm sorry. Whoo! Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Get in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you sick, brother, so I ain't going to hold you long.
All right. As far as the negative experiences, I think there is a way to appreciate them. You appreciate them first by acknowledging that you survived them.
Mm-hmm.
You can appreciate them in that aspect, and then once you've done that, learn to move forward from it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, whatever happened, good or bad or ugly, appreciate the lesson you got from it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep moving forward. And if the situation happens again in the present, I don't think it's necessarily bad to reflect on certain things. I think it gets bad when you do it too much, when you abuse that. Because you always go back to.
I just want to be clear. Did I say it was bad? I just want to be clear. I know I didn't say it was bad.
No, I don't think you did, but I think you were talking about putting a depth to reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has its place.
Mm-hmm.
I just think people do it too much.
Rumination.
They do it use it as a scapegoat as to what they do going forward. I think you can look back on certain situations, how you dealt with them, okay, maybe that wasn't the best way to deal with it, and you realize that you more than likely have grown since that experience, and try to handle it a bit more maturely, if that makes sense. Or, don't act like anybody owes you anything, because at the end of the day, they don't. And I'm not going to put stock in it. You're going to show me who you are regardless. It's not going to stop me from being who I am.
I love it.
If
brother.
I do something, it's because I wanted to do it,
Mhm.
because it was genuine. Whether you appreciate it or not, that's on you.
Love it, brother. Listen, man, you
yeah.
sick. I hear it in your voice. Man, get some rest. I ain't even going to ask you what you did because I know what you did. You brought Dallas, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to the SIP. You already know what it is.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
plus personal equipment.
Meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Why so sad? Walking around with them blue faces. She said I'm down on my luck in the summer.
Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this channel on all things related to narcissism. Today we're going to take on the very interesting topic of gratitude in narcissists. Not something they're very good at. I'm hoping that this video gives you some clarity on this issue, as with all videos on this channel. And keep in mind, a lot of this content is really crowdsourced. It's the ideas that come from you and the suggestions that come from you. I put those to research, take a look at them, and we turn those into videos. So again, your contribution is invaluable here. So let's talk about this issue. Before we do, I'm always going to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Regular content coming out. Hit that bell for the notification and like it if you do. So, why is gratitude so difficult for narcissists? Thank you. For most of us, that's all we need to hear. Thank you. Those two little words pack so much power. A recognition that we did something, a little bit of gratitude, and it's often enough to support us and encourage us to keep doing nice things. Many of us say thank you without even thinking about it, but many times we really do think about our thank yous. Gratitude can be expressed in a wide range of ways. The simple expression, thank you, gracias, merci, dankeschön, arigato. You know what? Do me a favor, send me you thank you in your language in the comments, because I want to see how many parts of the world have been impacted by narcissists. I would actually love that. Just write it down in those comments. Thank you in your language. It can also, the other ways we can...
Heavy stuff. You know, we got to play a little Dr. Ramani. Love her work. The Voice of Reason has been on complete fire tonight. Are you appreciative for the negative experiences you've had in intimate relationships? Very fire stuff. One of my favorites is in the building. One of my favorites. Everybody is my favorite, but this is one of my favorites. Nikki from the SIP. Get in here.
What's up, fam? Brother Zoe, you coming out shooting again? We 3 days in, and you just really?
I got to. I got to do it. Come on. I ain't got a lot of time here on Earth. I got to do it.
Man, I think why I said you were flying high, I think the concept that you're talking about, this quantum leap, it's going to require us to be big enough, like when I say big, I mean expand enough to be able to accept the concept behind not just receiving, but how it is that we are being in this state of peace that most people never get to. Remembering that peace is freedom from disturbance. And I don't think most people within themselves get on a regular basis in a place where they're free of disturbance. Mm-hmm. But the scripture says, it was good that I was afflicted, that I may learn your statutes. Okay. I submit food for thought. What if we presented in a state that it is good that I am afflicted, not in the sense that we are anticipating pain, but that we could get big enough to accept, this is that quantum leap I think you're talking about.
Come on.
We could be big enough in our being. This is why peace is important internally, so that you can expand enough to accept whatever that it is that's negative. And then you can internally use that as food for good in you, regardless of whatever it is.
Yes. Wait, Nikki, do you know what you just put me in the mind of? What if confusion, you're in a relationship, you're confused, you don't know what's going on. What if confusion is perceived as Christmas Eve? Do you know how much excitement is going on Christmas Eve? Do you see? Watch this. Dr. Joe Dispenza says it this way. When you're confused, you're always about ready to learn something new. Remember that. What if confusion precedes this gift of learning something new, like Christmas Eve precedes Christmas Day? Talk to me.
Because acknowledging that the Lord uses affliction in our lives to bring us back to Him, to keep us from straying away from God or that peace place or source, so that He can teach us the statutes or the ways of the intimate relationship person. But you got to get big enough, expand enough in your spirit place to be able to carry that all the time. And that's not an easy place to get. Yeah, that's a quantum leap. That ain't no joke, brother. Because you got to understand that you got to get in a peace enough place internally doing that work thing we talk about. This goes back to when we talked about the burn of the phoenix and we don't value the burn. I'm not one that looks back. I don't journal because I believe in my spiritual place walk with Christ. He will correct me. I don't have to go back and review it. You know how I know? Because what's supposed to happen did every time. And if I don't learn the lesson, I got to go back to the same grade, and he's going to do that.
Keep going.
He don't need my help. I can't. Now, I'm not saying journaling is bad for those that do it. I'm just saying that does not help me. Because where I'm getting my help in the spiritual place is so that I can get enough peace inside, so that I can get big enough to accept whatever it is that I'm getting from whoever the intimate person is I am in ship with, so that I don't have to necessarily internalize it all the time as a bad thing, so that if it is an affliction, it's like negative, I don't like the response, it was not really what I was anticipating, I can then regurgitate that back out to the person who gave it to me without killing them at the same time.
That's right, Nikki. I love you,
That's
Nikki.
accepting the whole person. That thing you keep trying to get us to learn how to do.
Wow.
But that takes a lot of work, man. You got to stay on that spiritual walk for real to get that big.
That's right. Nikki, guess what you just did?
I brought the sip in. I love you.
I love you, Nikki. The sip is in the building. We got one more caller, but JW, I'm sorry. You got to keep it real short, like short. JW, get in here.
Yes, sir, my brother. I will keep it real short, man. I was trying to do something else different, but anyway, here we go. The bottom line is, when you're a child or an infant, the Bible says you drink milk on the armor of God. And that should be the paradigm shift, mind shift, or attitude change that you was referring to, and the physics and scientists are referring to as well, because it is something that is a growth process, but like you say, in real time or as things are taking place, and that spontaneous fraction of a second, we should grow because it has been many years, and then you have to be in the spirit for that. And it takes a process to get to that point to where you get out of the worldly aspect of things, or, you know, that man mentality, which is an outside influence, and go internal, as you always speak on, and deal with that real person, which is that spiritual man inside. And I'm leaving with my little personal, I won't call it mine.
Well, you know what? Hey, J-Dub, we got to go. It's only like 10 seconds left, but I appreciate you, brother. Call in tomorrow. I love you, my friends. Listen, we start the conversation. You end it. That's all I want to do. I'm not here to be right. I don't care about being right, but I want to start the conversation. Up next, to keep the fire lit, you already know, your friend, my friend, your homegirl, my homegirl, Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces.
Good music, we're trying to say, yeah.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network.